falling into painted sidewalks, sitting on an old goodbye door, feeling out the reasons of this sin. Everyone is cracking streetlights, the vultures flying streetlights, feeling out the seasons of this sin. All the while I'm dreaming deep in hollow ground, sinking into something, sinking down, 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 down. Hungry for a fuller longing, hanging off a fragile awning, lined with the softness of your face. A jump, a feet of fire, a gentle warm desire, no time to simmer or erase. All the while I'm dreaming deep in hollow ground, sinking into something, sinking down. I can't remember how it felt when I was falling. I can't remember how it felt when I was falling. I can't remember how it felt. Remember how it felt. Remember how it felt. I can't remember. I can't remember. Than a show. Normally we will sing songs and then speak just a little, but now we will sing a little and speak a lot.
Hey Nick, can I get another mic please?
Yes, if you've got another one. I'm a singer-songwriter from Chicago originally. We've been playing here with a group and such for about 2 years as of right now. From Chicago, we've been touring kind of before embarking on another musical journey, recording a second record, which is really exciting to start. My name is Jennifer Hall. This is Ben Joseph. He co-writes many of the songs, as well as our guitarist who could not be here for this event. But it's really great to be here and see all of you guys here. And hopefully we have some reasonably exciting things to say, who knows, but I kind of winged what I was going to say. I kind of thought that that's sort of the nature of art. Sometimes you don't always plan what you're going to write or what the lyrics are going to say or, you know, where a song's going to go, and sometimes you just have to...
It's a very beatnik approach. Just say what you feel, man.
Yeah, say what you feel, man. There you go. I haven't heard that, but that's enjoyable. I have to say, this is going to sound really stupid. I didn't plan on saying this, so don't be mad at me, but in the midst of basically all of our rehearsals or meetings ever, the one thing I really like about Ben are his accents. I heard an accent in there.
That's not particularly relevant to this situation.
Okay, well, that's fine. I have an artist brain, so I had to write some stuff down.
It's our
and
musical accent
yeah.
that we're talking about.
Yeah, it's not true. We're good friends, I can joke. But some things that I kind of jotted down in terms of things to reference and things to speak about were just couple things that I learned in terms of doing music, being part of this musical community. I started off in musical theater, so you get very good at being somebody else and getting to know them and having a great deal of emotional distance, let's say, from feelings and emotions, things that this character is portraying and things that they're feeling. And something that I've learned throughout being, throughout songwriting and creating our own original stuff, is that there's just such a great deal of joy that comes with being honest and being able to sit in your own self and
well, and a lot of these songs, I think, are you making yourself the character that you're playing, and trying to be more honest with yourself than you necessarily would. And I think that
interesting. I'm listening.
Well, there's a sort of brutal self-honesty that comes with writing songs. And if something's not right, if something doesn't feel right, then it takes you looking yourself in the mirror and saying, no, goddammit, this doesn't work. This is not honest. This is not what I'm trying to say. So I think that, over the last year and a half or so, we've kind of gone into the bunker and written as many songs as we could. I think we probably came out with about 40 or 50 songs. Most of them will never see the light of day, but the things that we ended up, that we were meditating on, that we ended up drawing our energy from were that brutal self-honesty and limitations. For a while, we sort of wrote stuff that came naturally to us, that came easy to us, and we ended up with a lot of pop songs, and a lot of country songs, and some jazzy sort of things, of course with the necessary air quotes around jazzy, because it's been made a completely meaningless word now. But, songs like the one that we just played for you came from us telling ourselves that we couldn't do the things that we automatically did. Most of the songs that we wrote before that one had a very specific feel. They were all kind of in the same time signature, a lot of them in the same key, a lot of them had the same structure, and if we hadn't stepped back and been honest with ourselves, we'd probably be writing those songs for the next 50 years in our basement. And so, that one that we just played for you was made in a conscious effort to write differently than we had been writing before. Instead of starting with a melodic idea, we started with a guitar riff. Instead of writing 6/8, we went back to 4/4. As an artist, I feel like that's a pretty universal. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good. As an artist, I think that's a pretty universal thing, that you draw from self-limitation, and it's sort of like the way that Jack White sets up his stage setup. I heard him talking about this, about how if he has to transition from playing guitar over here to keyboard over here, and he knows that he needs 2 seconds to get from this side of the stage to that side of the stage, he'll intentionally set up the keyboard 3 or 4 seconds away, so that he's always going to be, so that he's limited by that, and he's, basically just kicking himself to get there faster than is possible. I think that's what we try to do with the songs that we're writing right now. Care to elaborate?
I was going to go in another direction, but that's also okay.
Please do. I think I've exhausted this one.
Ben. You. We're very silly. We write some serious stuff, but we're very silly. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. It's interesting that you call it brutal. Sometimes it is, and sometimes I remember there are definitely several instances where we kind of went and sat down and started writing, and I thought, I'm just going to let my subconscious write, and really make a seeming effort to quite literally not pay attention to what I was saying, the words, the contents, to just be creative, to be looking around, to attempt to be semi-unaware of what I was supposed to be writing about, and to just, you know, write subconsciously, I suppose, from a deeper place. And, you know, I'd kind of read the lyrics. This was one of those songs. I read the lyrics and I thought, oh, this is so cryptic. This is so what's the word?
Undecipherable?
Thank you, yes.
Indecipherable.
Yes, both those things. It's both those. And yeah, and then probably after about 6 months, after a personal situation had sort of resolved itself, I thought, wow, this is descriptive and very not cryptic, but still good to...
Well, and all the songs are, I mean, all music is about sex and dying, essentially.
Yes, correct.
And we're no exception.
Come to our concert, we will talk about sex all the time.
And death.
And really exciting.
And both.
Yeah. But yeah, something else I was just going to kind of mention in terms of things to reference or things that you know, have motivated us or moved us in terms of doing this versus, I don't know, a day job, I suppose. Well, I'll start off with a little brief story. About 4 years ago, I had lost someone very close to me, and kind of for one of the first times questioned the validity of making art, I suppose, for a living. I thought, is this worth anything? Is this valuable? Do I have anything to offer? What am I offering? And I think that caused me, A, to you know, to continue to motivate myself to make stuff that was worth offering, as I didn't want to not do it. And also to realize that, or eventually I just came to this conclusion that, is that if you're doing something passionately, if something involves a great deal of passion, then it has to be valid. And there were probably a lot of other mental roads to get to that conclusion, but I just figure, you know, when you see somebody on the street, a street performer, let's say, and they're playing really passionately and with all of their heart, and maybe they're not playing really well technically, who knows, but they're playing with all they've got and their heart is in it. There's something that draws you to them. You know, children are very passionate about things, and then maybe as we get older, we maybe kind of try to fit in some boxes along the way and maybe lose some of that, like blood red passion. But I think if you've got that behind your art, people see that. I think passion is infectious. So I guess I just kind of thought I better be passionate and, you know, try to continue to offer something that was valid and emotionally viable. And just trust that that's what people want, because that's what I want, you know, to emotionally connect and make those connections. So, care to elaborate on that?
Well, I think that's kind of a lot of the reason why Jennifer and I work with each other, because
I'm in it for the money and the sex and the drugs. I'm just kidding.
You know,
That's all
you can do
nice.
that without playing the guitar. That stuff is all out there.
That's true also.
But, I mean, just to rebound off of that real quick, it's interesting that you mentioned passion as the driving thing here, and it absolutely has to be. But I think a lot of the reason that Jennifer and I and our other songwriting partner work together is that, you know, is that passion needs direction, and it needs self-control and cold-hearted intellectualism. And I might be completely wrong about this. This album that we're making right now is an experiment in that, but if that, hopefully that succeeds, and hopefully that hypothesis is proved. By the way, we're making an album right now. We just had a Kickstarter campaign, we just financed it, and it should be out next year. And we hope that you know that you will check it out and hopefully enjoy it.
If you want, no pressure. Yeah, I suppose that those are all the things that I had jotted down, but I guess, I don't know, the underlying theme for all of this and for this whole event is that it seems like everybody just has a deep, deep desire and craving to connect, right? And so art is important, and exchange of ideas is important, and I guess that's what we're, you know, I think that's what we're driven by. And so go Glepit Nova, I have such an artist brain. I seriously have thought of like 20 other things during this, and I'm trying really hard to stay steady. It's very difficult, but
Art is kind of important.
yes.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening. We'll be around if you want to chat. Again, this has been Joseph. I'm Jennifer Hall, and thanks so much for your support.